Growing up in Mumbai, I could not sit in silence even if I tried. There was always a horn, a pressure cooker whistle, someone shouting from the balcony, a random uncle arguing about parking. And then I moved to the United States, where sometimes I can hear my own thoughts. And let me tell you, that's not always a good thing. People always ask me, so what is better? And honestly, the question is impossible to answer because they don't just feel different, they shape you differently. Hi, I'm Dr. Sanoba. I grew up in Bombay, built my early life in India, and now I live in the US with my family. And today, I'm not comparing countries to declare a winner. I'm sharing what everyday life actually feels like when you've lived deeply in both. Wait till I tell you that one thing that I never expected after moving here. And again, this isn't about which country is better, it's about what changes you in ways you don't expect. In India, food is integrated in your daily rhythm. Fresh vegetables, spontaneous guests, someone always asking if you've eaten. Meals are rarely solitary. In the US, food is efficient, organized, planned. You grocery shop for the week, you meal prep, you respect time. In India, someone dropping by during dinner time is normal. In the US, dinner is scheduled. There's more focus on family time. But sometimes it's just quiet. And that quiet does two things at once. It builds independence, so you learn to rely on yourself. You create your own rhythm. And at the same time, it makes you realize how you took things for granted, like the casual interruptions, the extra plate being set for you without even asking, the simple comfort of someone checking in on you if you've eaten. Neither way is better. One wraps you in constant togetherness, the other gives you space. And depending on the season of your life, you'll find yourself craving one thing or the other. This was the biggest emotional difference for me. In India, you are surrounded by people even when you don't want to be. There's movement outside your home, neighbors, relatives, street life, sound. In the US, you can go through an entire day without any unplanned human interaction. It's peaceful, but sometimes it is isolating. And if you're an introvert, you might like that. I actually loved that in the very beginning. But that changes how loneliness feels. In India, privacy is rare.
Hey, hello. किधर है?
In the US, connection requires effort, and neither extreme is perfect. But if you grew up surrounded by constant interaction, then it can take adjustment. Growing up, I watched children move between homes like it was one shared ecosystem. Grandparents, neighbors, cousins, someone always watching, connecting, feeding, advising. In India, parenting often feels collective. There's support built into the system. In the US, parenting is more independent. You manage your own schedule, your childcare, your responsibilities largely on your own. And trust me, it's not easy. I have enormous respect for those who do it all by themselves. But let's be honest, raising kids in India can feel overwhelming. Someone always has an opinion and will always tell you what you should do and what you haven't. But there is also nostalgia for that built-in support that you didn't realize was support because it felt normal. Both teach resilience, but in different ways. One thing, or maybe another thing that I did not expect was how different work feels. Growing up in India, achievement was woven into identity very early. Your marks mattered, ranks mattered, performance mattered. You were constantly aware of comparison, even if no one said it out loud. There was this underlying intensity. You always felt like you had to prove yourself. Although I have to admit, I was blessed with incredibly loving parents who gave me the same hug and peck on my cheek, whether I came first or last. If anything, the pressure I felt was perhaps mostly from myself, trying to keep up, trying to stay ahead, trying to survive what felt like a rat race. And that shapes you. You become driven, alert, a little restless. When I moved to the US, what surprised me wasn't the absence of ambition. People here are incredibly ambitious, but the pace. There's room to breathe. There's more acceptance of non-linear paths. Career breaks don't automatically define you. Changing courses or the direction that you want to take isn't considered as failure. Work can be important, but it doesn't have to consume your entire identity. It felt more forgiving, more balanced, less like your worth was being calculated every minute. Again, that doesn't mean that there aren't high standards. There are.
Definitely.
But the pressure feels different. It's less collective, more personal, and for me, that shift changed something internally. I stopped measuring myself only by output. I started asking, does this feel sustainable? Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, achievement does matter, but so does peace of mind. people move to the US for opportunity. And yes, salaries can be higher, but so are expenses, childcare, healthcare, education. In India, domestic help is accessible. You may earn less, but feel supported by the proximity. In the US, you may earn more, but manage more alone. It's not just income that changes, it's how you live. One of the other very big changes for me wasn't just cultural, it was physical. The energy feels different. Growing up in Mumbai, life unfolded outward. Balconies were conversations, streets were extensions of home. There was always movement. Someone walking past, calling out, negotiating, laughing. Even if you stayed inside, you felt connected to something happening beyond your walls. Then I moved here and I noticed how much life happens indoors. Doors close softly, streets are calm, homes are spacious. You can stand outside and hear almost nothing. At first, that quiet feels luxurious, organized, peaceful. And then sometimes it feels almost too quiet. In Mumbai, space was something you negotiated, you adjusted, you squeezed in, you learned to exist in closeness. Here, space surrounds you, and no one prepares you for what that does internally. When there's room around you, there's also room inside your head. More time to think, more time to reflect, more time to sit with yourself. And if you grew up in constant motion, learning how to sit with silence can be unexpectedly uncomfortable, but it can also be deeply grounding. It's just a different rhythm of being alive. Another big change isn't food or work, it is identity. When you grow up in India and move to the US, you don't just move across geography. Something inside you stretches. You expand. You begin thinking in two cultural languages. In India, sometimes I'm told I've changed. And maybe I have. But here I'm still very clearly Indian. In the way I speak, the way I think, the way I raise my children, the way festivals matter to me. So you kind of live in this in-between space. You belong in both places, but not in the exact same way you once did. And for a while that can feel disorienting, like you're slightly misaligned no matter where you stand. But over time, I've realized something. This isn't fragmentation. It's expansion. It's not losing one identity to another. It's carrying both. And that doesn't make you divided. I think it makes you layered. So when people ask me, which is better? I don't have an answer because one place raised me, the other reshaped me. One gave me roots, the other gave me range. Family. And maybe the real privilege isn't choosing between them. It's having known both. I won't lie. Sometimes I miss the noise. Sometimes I crave the quiet. Sometimes I feel too Indian here. Sometimes I feel slightly American there. And maybe that's okay. Maybe home isn't one place anymore. Maybe it's a collection of experiences you carry with you. If you've ever lived between two worlds, you know exactly what I mean. And of course, this is just my experience. Yours might be completely different. Some people thrive in the quiet. Some people feel suffocated by it. Some people leave and never look back. Some carry a constant ache for home. And all of that is okay. We all navigate change differently. We process transitions differently. What feels freeing to one person can feel overwhelming to another. So I'm really curious. If you've moved cities or countries, what surprised you the most? And if you haven't, what do you think would be the hardest for you if you have to or if you had to? I'd genuinely love to hear your perspective. And I want to add something more. Not as someone who moved, but as a doctor, which I am by profession. Major life shifts like moving countries, changing careers, becoming a parent, even getting married, they take a toll, even if they are positive changes. Your nervous system doesn't automatically categorize something as good or bad. It just recognizes change, and change requires adjustment. If you've ever felt unusually tired, irritable, disconnected, or not just like yourself, especially after a big move, that doesn't mean you're weak, it means you are adapting. And adapting takes energy. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay to say, this is harder than I thought. It's okay to call a friend and admit you're struggling and ask for help. We don't have to process big transitions silently just because it looks successful from the outside. And that applies no matter what country you're in. I'll see you next time with some more science-backed, experience-driven video on skincare, healthy aging, or even life. Continue to glow, thrive, and shine. As always, take care.
I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute. I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning. Oh, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything?